episode covers Robotaxi rivalries between China and the US, strong festive sales for Indian automakers, a jaw-dropping meteorite strike on a Tesla, new UK schemes to boost EV adoption, and the rising role of ADAS in new vehicles. Welcome back to Autonews Daily. I'm Leah Morgan. Let's dive into today's headlines. Indian automakers reported a strong month driven by festive demand, with manufacturers from Hyundai and Toyota to Mahindra, Kia, TVS Motor, and Kirloskar all noting solid sales. The seasonal surge is familiar in many markets, but it's worth watching now because it reflects both consumer appetite and supply chain resiliency as manufacturers handle higher demand. For automakers, a sustained run of strong retail months during festival seasons can influence production planning and inventory strategies, and it can accelerate investments in electrified models where consumers show interest. Beyond the immediate uptick in deliveries, the pattern matters for vehicle mix and product planning. When mainstream brands post robust numbers during a concentrated buying period, it signals to suppliers and to the original equipment manufacturers themselves which segments are expanding most quickly. Compact petrol cars, entry-level SUVs, or hybrids and smaller EV offerings. That insight helps prioritize where to allocate constrained components, where to scale factory shifts, and where to accelerate the launch of new, locally relevant electrified products, especially as governments and consumers in the region increase interest in lower emission models. Moving on to a strange but revealing safety story. A Tesla driver walked away after a meteorite struck and smashed a windshield. Incidents like this are extreme outliers, but they capture attention because they test a vehicle's structure in unexpected ways. For electric vehicles and for any modern car with advanced safety cages, glazing, and restraint systems, survivable outcomes in extraordinary events can help shape public perception about durability and occupant protection. There are two takeaways for the industry. One is the simple human element. These stories remind automakers and safety engineers that real-world hazards can be unpredictable, and that continuous evaluation of materials and glazing performance matters. The second is reputational. When an EV withstands or facilitates survivable outcomes in an unusual impact, that becomes part of the narrative consumers see when weighing safety across powertrains. Automakers will watch how media and regulators respond, and they may highlight structural protections in marketing and communications, while safety researchers may call for renewed focus on impact scenarios that fall outside typical crash test matrices. Switching to policy and market nudges, the UK is rolling out schemes to support EV adoption, a move that reverberates through the supply chain and dealer networks. Incentives design, and supporting infrastructure programs, whether focused on purchase support, charging deployment, or fleet conversion, shape the pace at which consumers and businesses commit to electric vehicles. Where policy clarity exists, capital flows follow. Charging operators, component suppliers, and OEMs refine their regional strategies to match government timelines and incentives. For manufacturers and tier suppliers, the details of those schemes matter. Purchase incentives can boost retail demand in the short term, while charging and infrastructure grants change the calculus for total cost of ownership over time. Fleet-targeted programs can be particularly effective because commercial buyers often set a technology baseline for urban fleets, which then influences secondhand markets and wider consumer acceptance. Over the medium term, coordinated policy and public investment in charging can unlock economies of scale that reduce unit costs for chargers and batteries, encouraging more models and price points to enter the market. Now, onto vehicle technology. Advanced Driver Assistance Systems, ADAS, continue to expand their presence across price points and model lines. What began as optional safety packages and higher trims has become a core expectation for many buyers, and automakers are integrating features like adaptive cruise control, lane keeping assistance, automated emergency braking, and more nuanced driver monitoring systems into broader portfolios. The growing role of ADS influences engineering timelines, component sourcing, and dealer service networks. As ADAS becomes a mainstream requirement, insurers, regulators, and consumers will all play a part in determining how features are deployed and how they evolve. Regulators are watching to ensure that systems improve safety without creating new risks, and insurers will analyze real-world claims to refine risk models tied to ADAS-equipped vehicles. For dealers and service centers, increased complexity means new training, new diagnostic tools, and a greater emphasis on software updates and sensor recalibration after repairs. For automakers, pushing ADAS from optional kit into standard specification alters the cost base and also shifts expectations about software support and over-the-air capability. Before we dive into our most read item of the day, a quick request. If you find Autonews Daily useful, please follow or subscribe to the show. Your support helps us keep bringing concise, timely coverage of the stories that matter most to the industry and to drivers. Subscribing also makes it easier for you to discover the episode each morning. Finally, the most popular story today compares robotaxi fleets in China and the United States, a direct look at how autonomous driving deployment is unfolding in two very different markets. The comparison highlights contrasts in scale, speed of deployment, and market readiness, with each country showing distinct strengths. In some places, rapid urban deployment and integrated local partnerships have pushed fleets into active service, while in others, regulatory frameworks, mapping standards, and safety regimes have dictated a more cautious, phased approach. What matters for manufacturers, mobility operators, and investors are the operational lessons and policy differences. Where one market favors dense urban rollouts with high per-mile utilization, operators refine dispatch, fleet management, and in-vehicle experiences to maximize efficiency and safety. Where another market leans into rigorous stage testing and tighter regulatory oversight, the focus shifts toward validation, redundancy, and proving safety cases to gain broader acceptance. Technical approaches also diverge. Sensor suites, simulation investments, and cloud-to-edge processing architectures vary depending on the use case environments and local road rules. For the global automotive industry, these divergent paths offer an opportunity to learn and to adapt. Companies that can modularize software stacks, standardize hardware interfaces, and collaborate with local partners on mapping and operations will be best positioned to scale robotaxi services across borders. Thank you for joining us for today's roundup. If you liked this episode, remember to subscribe so we can continue bringing concise, relevant news each day. I'm Leah Morgan. Thank you, and see you tomorrow.